fire away.
Oh, I would imagine you probably aren't happy with the fact that you needed to, but you had to like the way your team finished this game out.
Yeah. First, give credit to Indiana. I thought that the way that they played this game, with aggression and, just overall want to, is what we expected. And so we very much expected for the game to be very difficult. We did get some separation early in the game, and then I think our players lost sight of how difficult it would be and how much they would want to win this game. And they let us know in the third quarter by beating us by 12. And then we had to respond. And yes, and that's what I told our team. I mean, we still didn't get some things done, 50% from the field. Kelsey Mitchell, really got going. I've seen her do that before. It's pretty darn scary when you're on the other side of it, how good she is. And, but at key times, I thought we put the fire out and, we made plays to win the game, and that's what we had to do.
14 of your team's 21 free throws came in that fourth quarter. Indiana didn't take a single free throw in that quarter. What was the emphasis going into the fourth quarter that really helped you turn the tide of the entire game at the free throw line? Yeah,
I think overall, we were disappointed in the third quarter that they were more aggressive than us, and we weren't responding offensively to that. And so I think that's what you saw in the fourth quarter. We saw more chances to, sort of make them pay for, being up in us, and we were able to go around just like they were trying to do to us, with a fair amount of success, I thought. But yeah, I mean, then once you get them in a bonus and end a game like that, then you're going to shoot extra free throws. So, I don't think the discrepancy is that big when you factor in, the end of the game foul situations. But I did think overall we were a little more aggressive. I thought, we got the ball inside a little bit. Thought we made some extra possession plays where we got on the glass and got a couple 50-50s and made our own breaks when we had to.
And then it was just a really different game in terms of where the production came from. Friday.
Always is. It always is. From game to game, you put the same two teams. The games are never alike, ever. I'll let you go ahead, Jack.
But just with all five starters in double figures tonight, what do you think stood out to you the most about the way that they produced, given that, it hasn't always been pretty for them in the last, 3, 4, 5 games?
But this is a team that, we obviously watched a lot of video. This is a good team. This is a talented team that, they're athletic. They play hard. They play together. The right approach. I mean, they're not, there's a lot of teams that could come in this house. And frankly, a lot of teams in the NBA do this. They're just putting their time in and just moving on to next year type of thing. Indiana Fever are not. And we made our team very aware of that, not just today, but the other day. I mean, so you give a team like this credit for, their fight and it's game 2 of, this kind of strange, playing the same, the series, playing the same team. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They made adjustments. Things that we got last game were much more difficult. Again, all things that we knew. I hope there's some things that we did. Again, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't going to go 1 for 9 again from 3. And she had a look about her, trying to will her team to win. And that's what it should be.
And then I thought Fee did a much better job attacking off the dribble tonight, especially when the defense was flooding to deny entry passes. And really, since the start of the Vegas game, she's looked more confident. Just what do you think the biggest change has been from her, over the last 3 games?
I just think wanting to play better. I think wanting to be more assertive, trying to take advantage of, like when Dantas went down, and not that Fee hasn't played power forward before, she has, but when she's played power forward in the bubble, Dantas was the other forward. And so that's a very different look than playing with Fee and Sil. And so Fee trying to navigate, okay, what are my spaces? What are the things that I can do? And we're also trying to figure it out. And, I thought we made a concerted effort to try to, get her some touches in places and see what she can do with it. And then Fee always generates her own offense without you having to run anything for her. She's going to assert herself, like you talked about. I mean, just basic screening action. She's just very, very active. And that's what you got to do. When your job is to, to be one of your team's leading scorers, it's not going to be all on, play calls that they're calling for. You got to make your own breaks. You got to go get some of the easy stuff, something in transition, offensive rebounds, 50-50 ball, get a deflection, go get a steal, that sort of thing. And Fee very much lives in that space, and she's very good at it. And I thought she was pretty active.
last year we saw this kind of fourth quarter out of Crystal time and time again. Tonight, 9 of her 11 in the fourth quarter, including 4 straight points there that were really big.
Yeah.
Just has to be good. I mean, we don't know what her role is going to be going forward, but
Right.
it had to be really almost like a breakout feeling for you with her.
Yeah. And she's been playing well. I feel bad because a lot of her shots hadn't been falling, but they fell at the right time, right? Like you mentioned, that 3 ball was big. And then her pull up jumpers, which she's really, really good at. I think once she got popped in the mouth, I think, I thought she responded to that that's what we saw from Crystal last year. The hard thing is to compare, the 2 seasons because the 2 seasons are so unalike, particularly for Crystal, meaning, the team changed so much, her role and what she needed to be doing. And she's not going to get the 30 plus minutes and get that fourth quarter time as a starting PG. She did today because she was, productive, more productive than any other guard that we had, that was running the offense. So, luckily for us that, we got to see the rookie of the year, Crystal, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Cheryl, how do you think Crystal has handled the mental part of her role changing? I mean, she went from, she's rookie of the year and suddenly you bring in somebody else to start over her.
Yeah, it's a Crystal question. I can just tell you from coaching her, ups and downs in the beginning, natural because you were a starter and rookie of the year but the role changed and we said, okay, this is what you got to be able to do. And we certainly want Crystal to, be the scorer that she is. She's a scoring PG, no assist today, but scored it. I'd like her to be able to be both. And so we challenged her in the offseason to, get more assists and be a better defender. And so that's been a process, but I think we're here. And that's the good thing is, so, what I've seen is a little bit up and down. Some days feel sorry for yourself, other days get with the program. And that's very typical of young players. Really good, strong teammates around her that she listens to. And then I think she's found her way. And I think really, I've been really pleased since we've gotten back from the break of how she's handled, her role and what we're asking her to do. And she's looked more comfortable doing it. But that's certainly, Crystal question, because I could be way off base.
How do you think your starters have gelled in this last stretch? I mean, it's not going to go this way every night, but particularly tonight when in the fourth quarter, like you had pretty good balance from everybody contributing and then on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I thought I think we are gelling. We've experienced, ups and downs together. We understand what we have to do when backs are against the wall and things aren't going our way. And that's what I enjoy more than anything is, our response when things are difficult and not going our way. I don't ever want to coach a team that's easy to break. I think our team's not easy to break because we do handle difficult moments the right way, the way we communicate with each other and we problem solve together. It's nobody's fault, so to speak. We try to, just correct things and move on to the next play. And I knew that was going to be important. It's always important because you're going to get down. You're going to get down in games. It happens all the time. It's the teams that, you're up 10 and they treat each other great, the front running, and then all of a sudden you're down 10, when the team is different, those are the teams I want to play against. The team that falls apart when you're down 10. It's easy when you're up 10, everybody's hooting and hollering and excited. But when you're down 10 and people behave differently, I'm proud to say that our team is one that continues to fight together, to problem solve together, because that's the only way you can get out of those difficult times.
We'll go last couple from the Zoom. We'll go Paul and then Leo. Paul, go ahead.
Hey, Cheryl, at this point with the standings bunched the way they are you allowing yourself much time to look and see what Phoenix is doing, what Seattle is doing, or is it really just focusing on these last couple games?
Well, I mean, it was, a little bit of both. Certainly going to pay attention, become a fan of teams that I've never been a fan of before. Yeah, maybe there's one tonight. I don't know. But yeah, I think all of us are. I mean, we played the whole season for this and we're working hard to control our own destiny. So we have to, we're locked in on ourselves, believe me. But yeah, this is a great time in our league right now. So I'm paying attention for sure. It doesn't change what we're doing with our team, but we're certainly paying attention because at this point it does have an effect on on how things fall for us.
Leo, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I want to ask about Natalie Achonwa tonight. She had a great little stretch in the first half. She hit 2 jumpers in a row, and then we didn't see much of her. And so is there an update with her? Or how's she doing?
Yeah, she's fine. It's one of those things. I mean, I'm sure Natalie would probably ask the same question. What happened? I did okay when I was out there. We got ourselves in a hornet's nest, and I mean, Natalie probably knows this by now. I mean, I'm going into the fourth quarter, and we don't have momentum. I'm going first 5, and I'm going to try to get control of the fourth quarter. That's something we've always done. That's my instinct. And it's not to say that I don't, believe in Natalie and didn't think that she played well. She did. I thought she played well the last time we played Indiana. But, when McCowan is as good as she is, her and Sil, heavyweight battle, they each kind of, had their way with the other. But, in those moments, you go where your bread's buttered. And that's, that's maybe a fault of mine that I'm going to go to, but it's worked out in a fair amount of situations.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Oh, whose shot was it? Sills, yeah. And she came flying through the air. Yeah. Big hustle plays. I think you get a 3.
So it looked like you guys were in control and they kind of pushed back hard. Can you just talk about how you guys came out in the fourth quarter and kind of answered that push with a push of your own?
Yeah, like you said, we came out really hard, and then for whatever reason, we kind of sat back a little bit, and they were able to get back in the game. They got really hot, so we had to answer. Unfortunately, it was a little late in the game, but we made it work. And I think it just kind of shows the resilience of our team also. So I was really proud about how we came back in the fourth and, took care of business the way that we needed to, but we just need to keep that consistent throughout the game.
It looked like you were a lot more aggressive tonight, attacking off the dribble specifically. Just with playing the 4 and drawing bigger matchups, just how different are the ways that the way that you look to attack when you're playing the 4 as compared to the 3?
So with 3s, I usually try to get into the paint a little bit more because they're usually smaller. And with 4s, just seeing what the matchup is, if they're really long, trying to score in other ways besides just under the basket, maybe taking them off the dribble, things like that. So just kind of seeing what my matchup is and seeing where I have the advantage.
And then you tied a season high in both free throws made and free throws attempted tonight. Just how important was it for you personally to get to the free throw line to kind of get yourself and the team going again there in the fourth quarter?
I didn't come in with a specific, get to the free throw line, but I did come in with a mindset that I wanted to be aggressive, and that just comes naturally with it. So I just want to keep that aggressive mindset, especially, playoffs are coming up. So really, hopefully we can get, hit the ground running going into them.
Yeah, tonight especially, and you guys have done this quite a bit lately. The starters have come in and kind of all of you combined to do really well on both the offensive and the defense, and when the game was on the line. How do you think the team has, particularly the starters, have gelled in this period since the Olympic break?
I think putting each other in positions to be successful, and that just comes with chemistry. We did have a lot of new people, injuries, things like that. You have a lot of different lineups, and so figuring out where people want to score, and so I think that just comes with overtime. And we knew that coming into the break, we had a good, winning streak, and we wanted to keep it. I don't think kept it for that long, but definitely, like I said, putting each other in positions where we know that we can score or be successful in whatever way.
It's been kind of an up and down year for Crystal. It's been tough. She's been asked to take on a new role at times. Tonight, 9 of her 11 in the fourth quarter. Just talk about the boost she gave you and how much she kind of looked like the Crystal of last year.
Yeah, it's tough because, Crystal came in and she was People didn't expect that from her. And then so coming into this year, people know what kind of player she's a little bit more. And that's tough when people start guarding you differently because, she played really well last year. So she's figuring it out. And I'm really proud of the way that she's kind of stuck through it because it is hard when you're not performing the way that you know that you can. And so to see her play well tonight and be aggressive and take the shots that we know that she can make, it's really good to see. And, I want her to continue to do that throughout the rest of the season.
We'll go last question to Leo on the Zoom. Leo, go ahead.
If you played a game high 38 minutes tonight, and so I just want to check and see how your foot is feeling. I know you recently overcame an illness and everything. So health wise, like how are you feeling? Where are you at?
I'm good. It's to the point of the season where everyone is banged up. So yes, it hurts. And yes, I still have a cough, but it's that time where none of that stuff matters. It's about the team when we're locking in. And so you have to push past whatever, because everyone's hurting in some kind of way. So you have to push past it for the team.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, V.
Thanks. Bye, guys. You too.
Well, handling business, I guess. Handling business, I guess. He represent me. I got to represent my guy.
So I'm sure you guys didn't want to have to play the entire fourth quarter and come
Right.
back like that.
Mhm.
But the fact that you guys did respond when they pushed back at you has to feel pretty good heading down the stretch of this season.
Yeah, that's the beauty of what we have. And when we understand, when we play great collectively as a group, we have a great outcome. And so I think we pretty much felt the intensity that Indiana came out with, and they showed that they wanted to win. But I think we also felt that intensity to this last game on the floor, and we didn't want to take that L. So everybody stepped up to the plate.
It feels like you've passed the ball a lot more when you've received the ball in the middle of the paint, especially since Damaris went down and Fees played the 4 a lot more. Just with her playing the 4 and just the activity level she kind of plays with or without the ball, just how has that changed the way that you've had to play and kind of scan the floor once you receive the ball?
Fee just moves a lot, and so I have to make my breaks. So whatever she do, I try to do the opposite. And so I know she like to post up a lot, and so I try to stay out of the way as much as possible. But at the same time, like I say, make my own breaks. When I need to shoot, I shoot. But if I need to pass.
And there aren't many players in the WNBA who you match up with that are actually bigger than you.
Oh Lord.
And just with someone like Mitchell who gets hot shooting the 3, or Vivian's as well, just how does that change the way that you're getting your help, especially on the backside when you're trying to front someone like that and there's it's really just you and nobody else?
Right. Well, typically for the bigs, I normally play on my own. We normally don't bring red, but for some odd reason, we've been bringing red and we've been eating it. She's just a big frame, and she finds you at the right time. And once she wrap her legs around you, it's pretty much hard to get around. So you got to give her credit for working tonight because she did a really good job.
And then you guys took 14 of your 21 free throws in the fourth quarter. I know some of that was ballooned by garbage time, but just how big of that is, how big is that free throw matchup going to be for you guys moving forward, especially once you get into the playoffs and you're playing more of these bigger physical teams?
Well, I think before you even get to free throws, just understanding that you have to be aggressive and get to the paint and draw those fouls. So I think we did a really good job in the fourth after talking in third, after being down. But just being aggressive and getting to the paint like they're getting to the paint, and we'll also get those calls. So it worked in our favor.
So this doesn't necessarily have to do with the game, but I'm meaning to ask you about all the post-game stuff that you guys do. I mean, you and Kyle are doing the jump thing that Maya used to do with a rookie, and then having all the players out there doing that little dance deal that you used to do with the kids. How did all that come about, and why did you decide to? I imagine a lot of it was probably your idea. How did all this come about, and why did you decide to do it this way?
Just trying to keep tradition. Something that's normal to us, and we didn't want to break that. We knew the team looked a little different, felt a little different, but some things you just got to keep rooted into home, and that's something that we always done after the game, so we didn't want to get rid of it.
Were you able to do any of that in the bubble last year?
No, we was not allowed to do that in the bubble last year. As soon as the clock ended on the floor, you pretty much got off the floor and pretty much huddled in the locker room for the bubble.
Why does the whole team dance?
The whole team dance. I think it's just because they seen us do it the first time, and so everybody just jumped in. So that's why the whole team danced. We don't make them dance, but everybody chooses to just dance.
Yeah, because it used to be that Simone and all those guys
yeah.
ran right off the floor.
Yeah, Simone them always ran, but it's pretty cool. And we have a younger group too, so they understand. So
Thanks.
Just wanted to ask you how nice it was to see Crystal kind of break through with a big fourth quarter like she did so much last year. She
Yeah.
was huge for you guys tonight.
oh man, Crystal do phenomenal things once she understand how valuable she is for us. And I think she got that concept tonight. She just went out there with a chip on her shoulder, just getting it done on both ends of the floor. And so for her to come through the fourth quarter the way she did, she always give us that boost and that energy, and we feed off her.
Thank you, Sil.
Thank you. Thank you, little bucks. Have a good night.
You too.
Hey, Crystal, I kind of asked you about this morning too, but you've in your second year have been asked to do so many different things than you had to do last year, and it's been kind of up and down. You've been with the front team, with starters, with the backup. Tonight, it had to feel a little bit like last year, kind of like old times with the fourth quarter, 9 of your 11 in the fourth. Can you just talk about how you kind of let loose in the fourth?
It was kind of like a do or die situation. We were down. Ooh, but we were down. We didn't want to lose this game, so it was desperation almost.
Hey, Crystal, between you and AP, it really looks like the both of you have been really comfortable shooting out of pick and roll and handoffs with Sil. Just considering how easy it is to get into those quick actions and how much space she clears for the both of you, how easy is it for you to kind of get into a rhythm from playing in the 2-woman game with her?
It's real easy. She draws so much attention, and she's such a focal point of our offense. She makes our job easier to get those shots.
And it looked tonight like you guys barely ran any plays the whole entire night. It looked like you guys, it was really just someone getting a ball screen and then just reading and reacting out of that. And I know that Cheryl has really talked about you guys wanting to improve playing unscripted basketball. I was curious, or especially over the last 2 games, just what your thoughts have been about the way that you guys have been able to play kind of off scripting and breaking the play.
Well, our focus in that area is just making sure that we can try to do our best to get easy shots. And that's what you're seeing. Most of the time when we go up there and play like that, it's because the defense isn't set and we can find something easy, a breakdown and a defensive breakdown that they have.
Crystal, I'm wondering how you've been able to handle the mental aspect of your role changing. I mean, your rookie of the year last year had a great year. All of a sudden, the team goes out and acquires somebody else who's starting at the point. You had to adjust to a new role. You had to adjust to fewer minutes. How have you been able, just off the court, been able to handle all this mentally and be able to produce in the time that you've been able to play?
It's all about being a pro. If you can't handle that, you can't be in this league. Your number's going to be called at any different time. You have to be ready for it.
We'll go last question to Leo on the Zoom. Leo, go ahead.
Crystal, I just wanted to check up on you. I know there was at one point, looked like you tweaked a foot or something and you came down, and so you subbed out, but you came back in. So obviously you felt good enough. But what happened there? Do you feel like it's going to linger for the rest of the season, or is it no? It was just a scare and you're back to it, full strength.
I'm good. I don't know what to say.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
All righty. Thank you, Crystal.
No problem.
Thank you, Crystal.
No problem.
All right, everyone. That'll be it for us post game. Thank you for joining us.
Everybody have a good night.
This is insane.